Tired of mainstream opinion? I bet a lot of you are. Listen to mine instead. This is the OutKick Daily Mailbag. Anthony writes, when the Indians announced their name change, I was certain 100% of baseball writers would applaud it. I was right. Why won't even one baseball writer take the opposite position? This is a fascinating question. So the Cleveland Indians are changing their name following the Washington Redskins. Probably soon there'll be pressure on the Atlanta Braves, on the Kansas City Chiefs, on the Chicago Blackhawks. You know how this process plays out. The mob is never satisfied. They move on to the next target. And by the way, if the Braves and the Blackhawks and the Chiefs all changed their mascots, do you know what would happen? They would decide a new mascot was offensive because they can never be happy or satisfied in the progressive movement. There's always someone else who needs to be remedied, needs to have their privilege checked. So, sports writers are more liberal than your average mainstream media member. And on top of that, sports writers are terrified of stepping outside the bounds of acceptable opinion because Twitter mobs have made it so that everybody has to have the same opinion on every single issue under the sun. So if any baseball writer comes out and says, hey, you know what? I like the idea of the Cleveland Indians keeping their name and not changing, immediately they become the bane of existence. I'm sure there are many baseball writers who find it absurd that we're perpetually changing all of the different names out there in an effort to try to avoid offending anyone. But what sports writers fear more than that is by becoming the target of the mob, they could lose their job. And so there's an element of self-preservation involved here. You don't have a real marketplace of ideas because if your opinion isn't the right one, then you could potentially lose your job, which is how so much of sports has become so inauthentic, because there are so many people out there arguing for things that they don't believe in an effort to try to ensure that they never lose their job. That is why you should be supporting OutKick. I don't claim to know the right answer to everything, but I do claim to know this. The marketplace of ideas needs to function, and it isn't functioning right now because a climate of fear over cancelization has stormed everything in American life. And everybody out there, including just about everybody watching this right now, is terrified of getting fired for what they put on Facebook or what they put on Twitter or what they put on Instagram or Snapchat or wherever it might be. All of this is a huge mess for everyone. And so I got to tell you, I wish we had a real marketplace of ideas because I think it would stop all sorts of insanity from occurring, and at least we'd be having real debates about a variety of issues in the world of sports. But thankfully for all of you out there, OutKick ain't scared, OutKick ain't afraid, and we aren't going anywhere. This is the Anonymous Mailbag. Thanks for hanging with me. I'm Clay Travis, and I appreciate all of you